Jack rolled down the car window and reached out his hand, wanting to know how deeply he was buried. As soon as he extended his arm, the compressed soil surged into the car like a tidal wave, instantly filling it with a suffocating sense of oppression. He quickly closed the window. However, before he could breathe a sigh of relief, the sunroof emitted a piercing crack. He swiftly propped up the sunroof with his left hand and tried to seal the damage with tape, but to no avail. Left with no choice, Jack grabbed the steering wheel lock and forcefully secured it in the center of the sunroof. Finally, this action proved effective. For a moment, he felt a glimmer of relief, even forgetting his fear, and grabbed a bottle of mineral water, gulping it down. But after drinking, he began to panic because it was the only remaining water source in the car. After calming down for a moment, Jack realized he had to save himself. Just then, he suddenly noticed a yellow liquid seeping through the sunroof. Jack immediately leaned in and lapped it up. He then took out a nail clipper and carved a small hole in the soil, attempting to expand this opening. He gently bent a credit card, allowing the water to flow into the mineral water bottle. He then placed the bottle on the steering wheel lock, resolving the water issue for now. Next, he repeatedly stabbed the hollow steel tent poles into the crevice above. However, even as the shiny steel poles reached the bottom, the soil remained firmly closed, blocking any hope of reaching the outside world. Jack had no choice but to connect the two cold steel poles together with tape. As he continued upward, the pressure he exerted grew increasingly heavy. Then, he slowly took out a jack. Just as he confidently believed he was about to breathe the long-awaited fresh air, the jack's power seemed to reach its limit. The steel poles, over 5 meters long, still couldn't pierce through the soil. Jack's heart gradually drowned in fear, but he refused to give up his last chance at survival. He placed a towel on his shoulders, tightly gripping onto hope, and mobilized all his strength, frantically pushing upward. In the end, Jack succeeded. He finally saw the long-lost sunlight. However, when he desperately shouted through the pipe, there was no response. At that moment, Jack suddenly thought of a method, igniting newspapers to try and attract attention with the thick smoke. But Jack overlooked the terrible cost of flames in this enclosed space and was nearly choked to death by the scorching thick smoke. When the smoke dissipated, Jack was stunned. The steel pipe opening was completely blocked by soil, and despair once again devoured his hope.